Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Season 2 of Julia, which is based off of the life of Julia Child and her show, The French Chef. And this season we start off out in France as she's visiting her friend Simca, played by Isabella Rossellini, and this season has a couple episodes abroad, which I think is a nice way of shaking things up, putting Julia in a different place, looking at new foods and new perspectives. And there's an interesting dynamic with her and Simca throughout this season of Simca kind of feeling jealous of this newfound fame and life that Julia has. Sarah Lancashire continues to be fantastic as Julia Child. It's not quite a impression of her. She's really embodying this character though, and adding a lot of emotions and going through so much with it. And I love the dynamic between Julia and Paul, played by David Hyde Pierce, who obviously most people know as Niles from Frasier. And I really love their relationship. I feel like this season takes a new look at their relationship, looks at it in new ways, and uncovers different elements to the relationship, and even up to some of the final moments of this 7-episode season, having some new realizations about what they can do together, and the fear of really opening up about certain things. And they have such a unique relationship, and I appreciate the open sexualness about it, their passion for each other and what they do. It's one of those kinds of things where it's just feels like such a unique and engaging relationship they love to see on screen. You have Bibi Nurith, who plays Avis, her best friend. She has a new boyfriend in this season, and that causes a whole lot of new tensions between her and Julia, and also bringing Avis to a new place in terms of her own journey. And it takes some twists and turns along the way, and brings out new elements to Avis's character, and also challenges her with adversity. And she definitely has a very interesting arc in this season, and there's definitely tension that needs to be resolved between her and Julia, which obviously having that extra layer of drama certainly adds to it. You have Russ Morash, he's a big part in the first season. I feel like he's still there. He's a significant character, but not that big of an impact. Robert Joy, who plays Hunter Fox, who runs the studio, I think goes on this interesting journey in this season, worrying about losing Julia to a bigger network. And there's always that looming cloud of what's going to happen to this small public station. And they have a telethon, which was a lot of fun, that particular episode and all of that. I think one of the big standouts though is Brittany Bradford's Alice, who gets a lot of new authority in this season, and the series starts to look at race relations in a new and interesting way. Especially with her character, she goes through a lot in terms of relationships, the cost of, having sexual relationships, and the judgment that's placed on women in the workplace and in their personal lives. That becomes a big part of the season that I appreciated. Rachel Bloom gets added as the new director of the show, and it's one of those things where I really like Rachel Bloom. I don't feel like they really explored that character enough, or really did enough with that character to make it really work, to be honest. And it's kind of disappointing because I do really like her as an actor. She gets some moments to shine, but a lot of it's just tension with Julia and trying to bolster Alice. But overall, I think this season has some interesting episodes, takes you to new places. The season finale takes you to the White House, which was a very different kind of experience. And I appreciate that this season's taking Julia and her experiences to new places, shaking up the setting, and also I think this season did a good job of expanding upon different types of relationships, and also specifically the growing fame that Julia has and the ripple effect that has on so many people in the show. But overall, this is another wonderful season of this series focusing on one of the most famous TV chefs around, who really was the trendsetter, the trailblazer. And this is definitely a really engaging and enjoyable show, and I look forward to a third season. Hopefully, there will be one. But those are my thoughts on Julia Season 2. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some TV. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.